Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing good out there. My name is Sasha, I go by the name of Them Lights, and I'm a producer. So we're taking a look on this beat that I did a couple of days ago. Here we have a kind of a noise loop. Let's hear it. There's like a certain rhythm going on that I really like. I took the loop and then I warped it, which means I stretched it, and then I did some sound design on it and made it sound different. And now it sounds like that. Okay, so I started with kicks. I thought this kick would sound pretty good to the loop. After the kick, I was going for claps. So what I did here, I layered two claps on top of each other. This is the first one, solo. And the second one, solo. Okay, let's hear both of them together. After claps, there's like a little trick I do sometimes. So I took a third clap and I reversed it and I put it just in front of the main claps on 2 and 4. And this is something or everyone can hear in a lot of earlier Michael Jackson productions. And I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, so it was no question about it. Let's hear the reverse clap. Together with the claps, it sounds like that. Okay, so we have the claps, we have the reverse clap. I went for some kind of stick sound to have one more percussion element in the beat section. What I did here, of course, I've put like a delay on it, make it a little bit more spicy and to fill up the room a little bit. Afterwards, last element for the beat is hi-hats. I took some old school hi-hat samples that I have. But again, I've cut them into pieces and worked the sound and, you know, made it my pattern. But I left some space in between just to give it some air. And hi-hats on their own sound like that. Okay, so let's hear it for the beat. All together, everything together. Okay, beats. So let's hear the beat together with the loop. I like that pretty much. I'm a huge fan of intros. I pretty much do always intros on my own songs and on songs that I produce for other people. Up here I decided to put 16 kicks just before the song kicks in. I've consolidated the kicks, so I made it one track actually. And what I did afterwards is that I did like a pitch bend on the whole track, starting, let's see it here, you can see it over here. So starting up 2 octaves up, and then at the end we are 2 octaves down. So let's hear it for the intro, solo. Okay, that's the intro. So I was pretty much ready. I had the loop, I had the beats, and I was pretty happy with that. But there was always something I could hear, and I thought about having some kind of vocal in there, but not like sung vocal, but just like a vocal kind of effect. What I do normally is I record my own vocals and I pitch them around and I do stuff with them till I'm happy with it. I wanted to be really quick. I had the idea, I wanted to have it in there really quick. So I went over to Splice and I got like this female vocal chops What I did here is, of course, I like heavily treated. I pitched them up like I think pretty heavily, like 15 semitones for the first one. The second one is actually on the initial pitch, but there's like a lot of distortion on it. So let's hear the samples. So there's two different variations. That's the first one. Second one. Okay. So now we can listen to the beat with the intro and all the elements for the first part of the beat. Okay. So that's it for the first part. I wanted to have like a slight variation on the second one. So first of all, I decided let's take the noise loop out for the second part because it fills the room a lot. But I want to change it with some other elements. And of course, I love bass sounds, so I went for bass. My go-to bass, one of the go-to synthesizers I use for bass is a Juno plugin, which gathers like everything that I like from different Junos just on one plugin. Right after I played them MIDI, which you can see over here, what I did is I bounced them into waves because it makes it easier for me to chop it into smaller pieces, stretch, pitch, do whatever I want to do on top of the initial arpeggio. And so bass solo sounds like that. Okay, that's the bass. And I went for another percussion element on the track. And I took a loop that I have in my sample section. Chopped it up, worked it, stretched it, same process. And so this is the percussive element in the second part of the beat. Okay. So we have all the elements together. Here we go. Okay, so let's hear the whole thing. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this beat. Okay, so that's it for today. It was the first time that I did a video like this. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. If you guys even enjoyed it, just, leave me a comment because I actually think of making more of those videos. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Lights. I have a couple of live streams coming up in the next 2 weeks, playing some older, some newer stuff. Last but not least, huge shout out to Rocklab for giving me the opportunity to do this. The reason why I'm doing this is of course because we're in this bizarre situation right now and we have to stay inside. Stay home and make music.